Okay, think about it for a second. From the deepest parts of the ocean to the highest mountains, the animal kingdom is just bursting with life. I mean, we're talking millions upon millions of species. It's truly incredible. But when you're faced with that much variety, you have to ask, how do we even begin to make sense of it all? Let's dive in.
So you could start with something that seems pretty simple, right? Like a jellyfish. It's got this basic kind of stalk and bell body shape. Sure, it has tissues and a very basic nervous system, but you're not going to find a lot of complex organs in there. It's a beautiful but really straightforward design. But then you look at a butterfly. A butterfly doesn't just grow bigger. No, it completely transforms. It goes from this tiny egg to a caterpillar to a pupa, and then it becomes the butterfly we all know. That whole process, metamorphosis, is just an unbelievably complex journey. And then you've got animals like this kangaroo. I mean, it's a vertebrate, a mammal. It has a complex skeleton, all these specialized organ systems, and super unique ways of reproducing and getting around. The sheer range from a jellyfish to a kangaroo it's staggering. So, yeah, that brings us right back to our central puzzle. With all these wildly different shapes, jobs, and life cycles, how in the world do scientists create any kind of order out of this beautiful chaos? How do they figure out what's related to what? Well, the answer isn't just about what an animal looks like on the outside. Turns out, scientists have developed a kind of biological blueprint, a set of fundamental rules for cracking the code of the entire animal kingdom. Think of this blueprint as a toolkit, full of key anatomical and developmental traits. And by looking at these specific features, biologists can sort every single animal, no matter how weird it looks, into its correct group. It's how they understand its relationship to all the others. And you know what the very first tool in that toolkit is? Body symmetry. It sounds kind of simple, but it's a really powerful concept. It's all about how an animal's body parts are arranged, and it's one of the first, most important sorting decisions they make. And here you can see the two main options in action. Over on the left, the jellyfish has what we call radial symmetry. You can basically slice it like a pie through the middle in a bunch of different ways and get roughly identical halves. But on the right, the spider has bilateral symmetry. There's only one way you can slice it to get two mirror image sides. And this isn't just a design choice, you guys. This is a massive evolutionary fork in the road. Bilateral symmetry is what leads to developing a head and a tail and being able to move forward with purpose. So, after they figure out the symmetry, biologists dig even deeper, almost like detectives looking for more clues. They look at how an animal develops as an embryo. Like, does it have 2 or 3 basic tissue layers? Is there an internal body cavity, that's called a column, that gives organs space to grow? Every single answer is another signpost that helps place that animal more and more precisely on the evolutionary map. So, how does this all come together? Well, when you start to combine all those clues from the blueprint, the symmetry, the tissues, the body cavities, you can actually start to build a really comprehensive family tree for the entire animal kingdom. And here it is. Now, don't even worry about trying to read every single box. The point is that this whole chart is what you get when you apply that blueprint. Think of it like a giant decision tree. Each fork in the road is a question, like, does it have tissues, or what kind of symmetry does it have? And that's what sorts all the animals into their different groups. This is literally how we solve the puzzle. The very first split right there at the base of the tree separates the sponges from literally everyone else. Why? Well, it's because sponges just operate at a simple cellular level. They don't have true specialized tissues and organs like all other animals do. That makes them fundamentally different. Okay, so once the sponges are branched off, the next huge division is the one we just talked about, symmetry. All the animals that do have true tissues get sorted into 2 camps, the radial group, like our jellyfish, and the bilateral group, which includes the vast, vast majority of animals, including us. All right, so now that we have the framework in place, let's take a quick tour through some of these major branches and meet a few of the animals that live there. But first, I want you to look at this number, 95%. That is the estimated percentage of all known animal species that are invertebrates. Yep, animals without a backbone absolutely dominate the kingdom. It's not even close. And the most successful of all these invertebrates? That would be the arthropods. We're talking insects, spiders, crustaceans. Their success really comes down to this winning combination of a tough protective exoskeleton, a body made of repeating segments, and jointed legs that have been adapted for everything you can imagine, from walking and swimming to flying. Okay,
Now let's jump over to our branch of the tree. We belong to a group called the Chordata. So what's a chordate? The big defining feature is this flexible, rod-shaped thing called a notochord, which shows up at some point in our development. For vertebrates like us, it's actually the precursor to our spinal column.
And inside the vertebrate group, you can see this incredible theme of things getting more and more complex. The heart is a perfect example. Fish, they have a simple two-chambered pump. Amphibians evolved a three-chambered heart, which is a bit better at separating oxygenated blood. But then birds and mammals, we perfected the design with a super-efficient four-chambered heart. This design completely separates oxygen-rich and oxygen-poor blood, and that is the absolute key to supporting a high-energy, warm-blooded lifestyle. And you can really see the difference right here. On the left, you've got that simple, two-chambered loop of a fish heart, and on the right, you have that powerful, four-chambered engine that lets mammals and birds do their thing. It's just a fantastic visual of evolution in action, isn't it?
So, all of this brings us to our own little twig on this massive tree of life. Where do we, as humans, fit into this whole grand scheme?
Well, we are mammals, and that means we share a whole set of distinct characteristics that put us in the club. We have hair, females have mammary glands to make milk, we've got that awesome four-chambered heart, we're warm-blooded, and we have different kinds of specialized teeth for eating all sorts of food. Honestly, our own bodies are like a living library of this entire evolutionary story. Our bilateral symmetry, our three embryonic tissue layers, our internal body cavity, and our complex circulatory system, all of these things connect us back through the branches of the animal tree to a shared ancestry with countless other species. But here's the kicker. As complete as this tree might seem, it's just the beginning. The truly mind-blowing thing is that scientists estimate we have only discovered about 20% of the species on Earth. That means the vast majority of life's code is still a complete mystery.
Which leaves us with this one final, really tantalizing thought. If we've only seen a tiny fraction of what's out there, what other amazing body plans, what completely new biological blueprints are still waiting out there to be discovered and added to this incredible, ever-growing family tree?